Hi everyone, welcome. You're listening to Truth She Told, a voice for the everyday Malaysian Christian women to share truthful and honest stories to build, inspire and encourage. Today we have a very special episode in conjunction with our International Women's Month that we're celebrating on Truth She Told. And we have decided to bring on our very first round of men guests. Woo! Yay!
Men.
Hi everyone!
The other species.
Hi everyone.
As you all know, this is a podcast for Christian women. We thought, why not get the perspective from men? We're gonna get a bunch of questions from our friends or women. It's gonna be burning questions that we really want to know. Maybe we start with Shaun. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Shaun. I actually have a agriculture business. I'm 30 this year. Yeah, really excited to be here.
How about you, Andros?
Hi, my name is Andros, and I used to be in the magazine business. So yeah, but right now I'm in the education business.
Hi everyone, name is Kelvin. Husband to Alina here. We've been married for 4 years now. 1 kid. Wish I was in the gym right now, to be honest, but here I am doing this. We have a good time.
We'll now move on to the first category of questions that we want to ask. Initial attraction. So we know men are pretty visual people, characters and stuff, right? Might be a physical, might not be a physical thing. Up to you how you want to answer. What is the top 3 attributes of women that you look for?
I think, to me, body, solid, fit. I think that's pretty important. Like, it shows a lot about a person's character. Like, if she takes care of herself. Face, hair, I think that's also pretty important. I mean, if you really want to go into the details, yeah, you could. You can ask me later lah. But yeah, hair, face.
So that's 3 things lah. Body, face,
Yeah.
hair. So we gave you 3 options for attributes and all 3 you pick physical.
Yeah, I said can be character as well.
Oh, can be character?
Yeah.
Okay. So characters. I'll do it for the single guys, okay?
Shaun, you don't want to change your answer?
No,
He's being honest.
Okay.
I'm just being honest.
No judgment to you.
So the 3 attributes for me. I think she needs to be beautiful. She's got to look nice, bod, hot. You know. Third one is which is she needs to love God lah. For me, that one is like a deal breaker if she doesn't.
Brownie points for you having said God.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to the 7, 8 years ago when I started courting Ellie. I'm gonna give a very typical answer. The first one, if top 3, the first one has to be the hair. It has to be long hair. So until today, that's why when every time Ellie wants to go for a haircut, I was like, nope, nothing below this particular length. So to me, that probably until the day I die lah. I'll say that from first. Secondly, I would say someone sporty, someone who loves to play sports, but probably don't ask me to go hiking at 6 in the morning like Ellie. Sorry definitely love my sleep more than hiking at 6 a.m. in the morning. I think third one, you just I think what I like is just someone with a bit of a drive lah, whether it's in personal or work lah. So those are my 3 things I'll say.
I want to tap into what Kel said earlier, right? Where he was saying, you got long hair and you won't change your answer forever. You want someone who has long hair, right? Why are guys sometimes so controlling over what women wear or don't wear? Like, for example, right, say you guys would, if you notice a pretty girl forever or something like that, oh wow, that girl very pretty, and then you share with each other, right? But then why is it that sometimes you don't allow your girlfriends to dress like that also? And then in this case, you want your girls to have a certain hair length lah. I don't understand, like why is image so important to y'all?
Okay, for me, I don't control how Ellie dresses, right? Just to clarify, my girlfriend's name is Ellie, Ellie.
Thanks, bro.
Disclaimer. So I don't want people to think that I'm referring to your wife, Kel.
All good.
Right. So I don't control the way Ellie dresses. She wants to wear whatever she wants. She likes to wear like that. She wears like that. I think like a lot of women, right? They don't like to be controlled. Over the last year, I did have an influence over certain aspects of her shopping. She's been buying a lot of shoes lately. It's like so yeah, Kel, your turn.
I just want to add that for anyone who doesn't know Andros that well, you just have to hang out with him for about, I think minimum 3 months, right? You probably end up buying at least 1 pair of shoes already.
I thought you guys would start wearing hats also and jackets. Andros always shows up in like more than one piece, right? More than 3 pieces, right? Like with hat lah, jacket lah, shoe with
Hey, the jacket is very, very useful when you're single, right? When a girl is cold, you take it off and give it to her.
So you
That's why you wear a jacket.
That's his truth. That's
Itu dia, betul lah tu.
must tell Shaun.
Take some tips. Tips for you. I don't see you wearing a jacket today.
Give me a second. Give me a second, go and get my jacket.
Oh, legit, he's getting his jacket.
really
out.
went.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Maybe while we are waiting for Shaun to come back, right? I think Kelvin should answer this question because he actually comments on what I can pack, especially if I'm going on a company trip. He will be like, "Hey, that dress is too sexy. Why are you wearing it for your company trip?"
That's right.
No, don't pack it.
That's right,
So
that's right.
I guess everyone wants to know why the change, Kelvin.
I think that if any men who are listening this, right, or when the ladies listen and share it with their boyfriend or their husbands, right, I think there will be some elements of it that they will understand. I think for men, it's like the most neutral way I can describe it is that when girlfriend, right, evolved to wife, like she becomes your crown jewel. You have that overprotectiveness. I won't say it's an ego or a pride or anything. Like she becomes your crown jewel. You protect it in an environment that you can. But I think sometimes it comes off, a lot of times it comes off as overprotective, controlling your other half instead. So I think maybe I can answer the hair part this way. Yes, it's a now it started as a preference that, I for me as the guy, I would prefer that my wife has a certain length of hair, blah, blah, blah. But, to be honest, at the end of the day, she could just make an appointment at her favorite hairstylist, rocks up, reappears back home 4 hours later with a different length of hair, with a different color, different highlight somewhere here and there. $500 gone down the drain later. What can you do? What can you say? It's already happened. It's not like you're gonna like, oh wow, your hair's too short already, I'm gonna divorce you. No, ma, right? You still love her, right? So it is what it is. It's a preference. It's not a make or break.
Ellie, should we make an appointment for you to shave your head bald?
Trust me, I'll do a Britney for you.
Take one for the team and try out. No, okay.
Hey, and to be fair, like when she was pregnant and she gave birth, right? She was like, "Wow, hair, right?" And she's like, "Oh, very hot, sweating." I said, "Hey, go cut your hair, lah. Go cut your hair short, lah."
Okay, Shaun just came back. He's wearing a jacket right now. Shaun, do you have any thoughts on that? On women, the way they dress?
Honestly, if I ask myself that question right now, if I was dating, I don't think I would have any problems. But I think I can see where Kelvin is coming from. If you have when you buy a new phone, right? You start slapping on screen protectors, phone casing. And you want it to look like absolutely perfect, right? Pristine for as long as you can. And I think that's how Kelvin feels about it as well. And I think that's how most men would do too as well. It's not a deal breaker again. Sometimes you still drop your phone and it still cracks, but it's okay, it's still yours, right? Nothing changes about its use, right? I go out of my way to keep my phone safe, so I don't see why we shouldn't of our partners or anything.
I, as a woman listening to that, all I heard was, Shaun compares women to phone, but then Kelvin compares women to crown jewel. It's like, what's the difference between the married and the single man? I was like,
How can someone who is not obviously attractive still find a boyfriend? Do y'all have any tips?
The most shallow answer I would say is like, have you seen what makeup can do?
Wait, no, okay, I know it sounds shallow,
legit.
right? But I don't know, maybe to some women that is a practical step they can take.
Yeah.
But let's think about it very objectively, right? Men are men. They're never gonna change lah. It's not as if you can go and keep telling all the men out there, hey, stop being so superficial lah, Start being more focusing on character. Yeah, I know you all said all that, but yet your top 3 characteristics are physical lah,
Yeah.
So we need to be practical also lah, right? As women, what can we do to still attract a man lah,
Yeah, and probably the way you dress.
Do you think Malaysian women dress well?
Not all.
Not all.
Not all. I don't know, not just Malaysian women, but Malaysians in general don't really dress very
The way
well.
the slippers go to kopitiam, that kind.
I don't know. I think we live in a society where your physical appearance is very, very important. I used to be in the media industry. I was in a wedding magazine, right? So the way our media has portrayed beauty is very skewed towards one end, which is You've got to be 6 feet, you're like 180 cm, you're like 45 kilo, you've got a 23 waist. And those are the models that I look for my shoots, right? It's not because that I want to, but the sizes of the dresses only comes in that size. If you're not that size, you're not going to fit for my shoot. So I don't blame people. I think I blame, the media that has been trying to portray how your physical appearance should look. What beauty has been defined, right? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
For certain people, it is important, and for some, it's not. And what one person finds attractive, another might not.
I'm going to add a little bit to segue to what Andros said and add on to that. I think you don't say women. We say men. Okay, I speak of our own kind first, okay. I would consider myself as not an attractive person. Let me be upfront. But when I had to court Ellie, I had to find a way to project myself that would attract her. Whether it's my dry humor, whether it's whatever lah. Okay, there has to be something in me that I have to portray out to get her. Okay. And then hopefully she falls for it, kind of stuff lah. Okay, because I know I'm not good looking, so I cannot go and walk in and like throw a lame pickup line and like she's like, fall for me, that kind of stuff. It's not gonna happen. Full stop. And I think likewise, women can do the same also. Like you have your own attributes that like which are super cool one. Like you could be super funny, you could be super confident, and it's all just about projecting that quality out. And then like don't be afraid to make that first move lah. I'm sure if that's the right guy for you, stars will align.
Oh, okay. That's not a bad answer. Did not expect that.
And also, I think, like, just to add a little bit, I think we tend to forget when we are looking for a partner that the other person is also human. There are a lot of facades to the other person, how they feel. When I was a little bit younger, when I was dating and stuff, like, in my head, it's like, oh, it's either this person likes me or doesn't, right? And I kept falling into the trap, like, it's either or, and if the person doesn't show any signs, then I give up immediately. But in reality, there's so many facades that you can actually, like what Kelvin was saying, right, about peacocking, right? There's more towards like yourself, like you can be good at cooking, and that the other person might find it attractive. You might like hiking, and then the other person might enjoy it. And I think at the end of the day, it's like, to me, a relationship is the amalgamation of your interests. It's about giving what you have and sharing what you guys enjoy. And those that you don't, then I mean you have to find other outlets lah. But I think that would be a healthy way to start something. If you constructed your entire relationship based on how the person looks, right, I think it won't last long lah. To me at least, I think it has to go deeper. You have to be able to connect on the spiritual level, on the emotional level. It's not just the physicality that matters in this sense.
Shaun, you mentioned about, having the same interests and stuff. So is it important to have the same interests?
I think it's a very, very good start to any relationship. It gives you guys common grounds to get to know one another better. And I would think that it would build the foundation of each other's characters, like understanding who the other person is. And, from there you can start discovering like new hobbies and stuff, because there's just so much to do in the world, But yeah, I think it's important that there are at least a couple of common interests. Yeah.
So you don't mind if she starts playing your favorite video game like Dota and then kacauing you, like, oh, when you gonna play me?
I mean, no choice, have to carry her a bit,
Oh, okay. So you don't...
that's nice.
Okay, I thought like there will be some guys who want to keep their interests to themselves and kind of like, oh, this is just my man thing, like my guy thing.
But I think that boils down to the individual, right? It's all about communication, I would think. Like if a guy doesn't want her to join, then just tell her that don't join I'll come to you cook tomorrow or if she says, oh, I don't want you to cook with me, and then jialat one fellow will be on the couch But I think it comes down to communication, like what exactly you guys want to do together and whatnot. And I think it's possible to be civil, at least in my head. Not that I have any experience. I think this you should ask Kelvin.
I think that's a good... Yeah, I think you should ask Kelvin.
Shaun's answer is what exactly I would say. Okay, maybe
how's hiking? How's hiking at 6, Kelvin?
Bro, what's so terrible. Like my brain is not even functioning. I don't even know what direction Geras is.
Ellie made you go hiking at 6? What was the...
Yes.
Oh.
There was multiple attempts. Let's just say there was multiple attempts in the past 7 years, and
let's just say that when we first met each other, he told me, oh, I love hiking. So I said, alright, let's go.
that is Kelvin peacocking.
At 5 a.m.
Yes, there's Kelvin
You
peacocking.
fell for it.
But she never.
I guess it worked.
You cannot trust men anymore.
I know.
No.
It's just like how my husband said he used to go gym all the time, and then look at him now. Sorry.
Now, this is a bonus tip for the ladies listening to that. When you give questions or instructions, you have to be specific about it. I love hiking. I do. But I love hiking at 4 p.m.
What kind of hiking at 4 p.m.?
Exactly.
Why cannot at 4 p.m.?
Cannot
You ask
see the
my entire family growing up, right? We go and hike at 3:30 p.m. onwards. I'm on for it. Hot, no problem. 6 in the morning.
When a woman wants to date a man and they want to share their interests, you have to be very specific about the interest. Is I like to play badminton at 10 o'clock at night. Not the 9 o'clock Saturday morning one. The 10 o'clock in the weekday one. You know.
To be fair, it's true. I guess you need to be specific, right? Like even playing games, Kelvin does not like to carry me. So how does he overcome it? He just keeps playing when I'm not playing the game. So he goes like 10, 20 levels higher than me. And he's like, I'm sorry, we cannot play together already. Different level.
Hey, this is meant to be bro tips, it's meant to be sis tips.
It's supposed to be sis tips, right?
Okay lah. I think I'll say this from a married perspective lah. I'll admit that guys will definitely very, very high chance over promise, under deliver. I think that's just a fact that if you're listening to this, you have to suck it up and admit this lah. Irregardless, she give you specific instructions or questions or conversations or not, and that's a mistake we will have to deal with for the rest of our life, as regardless single, in a relationship or married already.
So then the sis tip to women is to take everything with a pinch of salt. Don't necessarily believe everything the men say. Do you gym? Yes. Do you eat healthily? Yes. Do you love your parents? Yes. Everything take one step down. And like, only maybe 1 out of 3 was correct. All the married women now need to reflect on their marriages. What are the 100 promises that your boyfriend made last time when you were dating? Then now actually,
Shaun, your spare room still available for Kel or not? Just in
Yep,
case.
always.
I cannot honestly say this, guys. It's not a deal breaker. But I know couples who are married with kids and they have zero interest together, and they're still together and they're doing very well together. But I think it's just an understanding of what works for you to connect with one another. I think there's a connection in that disconnection.
okay. What do you think about women who make the first move? Kel is thumbs up. Shaun
2
is
thumbs
thumbs up. Really? Yeah. Really?
2 thumbs up.
Wait, you guys actually think that it's a really attractive thing if a woman approaches you first?
I boil that to what I said earlier. If you have that level of confidence, right? I mean, hopefully the guy's not like intimidated lah and taken aback lah. But I think that's a good move. We've been talking about equal women rights, blah blah blah, for so long, right? So is there something wrong with like a girl makes the first move? There's nothing wrong with it. I tell you, some guys are damn shy nowadays.
Wait, Andros hasn't said anything. He didn't put thumbs up just now. So
Yeah.
maybe he has an
He
opposing.
obviously not interested in women going after him. That was why Andros.
I'm a bit old school in that sense that I think the guy should still make the first move. But that being said, right, guys also we need you to drop us some hints that you're interested lah. You know, the last thing we want is like, you know, when you're going for a slam dunk and then someone rejects.
Hey, just ask Shaun how it feels like lah.
Bro, painful, dude. It's like you going for the slam down and then they push you to the ground, you know, like right to the ground, you know. It's really high up, you know, the hoop.
So obviously that hoop didn't tell you anything, give you any hints at first lah.
Yeah, reject like at the end, lor.
Why?
Like, boom,
You
stop.
didn't know. Are women that subtle?
No, I think men are just dumb.
Yeah. Honestly, we are just stupid, lah.
We find it very hard to guess certain hints.
And we doubt ourselves a lot also.
Yeah, we do a lot.
Okay. Wait, you see, you doubt yourself, so you doubt whether you're thinking what the woman is thinking, right? Or to guess what the woman is thinking, is it?
We can't even guess what we are thinking. How are we gonna guess what you are thinking, you know?
Are you thinking anything?
Wow!
I think Shaun just got hit below the belt.
Ouch!
No, sorry. Okay. Be a bit nicer.
Like we can't even process like what is going on or like what the signals really mean.
Okay.
And so we think like, okay, maybe yes, maybe no, and then if they do something and then just a little bit of an adjustment by the girl, and then it's like, oh wait, am I reading this right, you know? So we doubt ourselves a lot in that sense.
So that means women need to make it a little bit clearer to men. They need to make the hints like one giant signboard. Either I suka you or I tak suka you.
How should a girl let you down easy? I know being friend zoned is not great, right? What do you think girls should do to not put you in that kind of situation? So how do we get that fine balance where like we still want to be your friend, you know? We still want to have that kind of like friendship with you. We're just not romantically attracted to you.
You need to give the brother some time to grieve.
Is that what I always don't see Shaun for like a couple of months?
A lot of grieving, dude. A lot of wake services, dude. Okay, I think for the first question, right, how to let them down, honestly, I think don't change lah. just smack them down, man. I like honestly, it is what it is, right? Like if you don't want, then don't want lah. I mean, he has to deal with his own grief. I mean, she has to deal with letting someone down, you know. I mean, like, yeah, if you ask me honestly, don't change it. Don't change what you guys do. Just smack the guy down. Cause if not, if things go further, and it's not something you want, then it's just gonna be more hurt for two people, I reckon. Yeah. Guys, we sometimes don't think with our head. So like to us, it's a very clear yes or no kind of thing. It's either when a guy likes a girl, right? His mind is set already one. Like, you know, like National Geography, or, you know, the lion has spotted its prey, he's moving in for the kill. So the moment the gazelle runs away, right, the guy's like, tak boleh makan already lah. So for him, it's like damn sad, right? He'll go under the tree, sit down. So I think like what Andros said, like, just give the dude some time to grieve. And then, yeah.
So are you saying that guys and girls cannot have platonic relationships? Like, men will not just go after a girl because, like, think she's great, we can be friends? Is that what you're trying to say? Like, there's always an intention.
Actually, what I'm saying is, if the guy goes in with the preconceived idea that he wants to date that girl, from what I've experienced, that is what I want. And if I don't get it, then
not interested.
You don't want anything else.
I would let it go. I only want that. You know, I only want that. Especially if you're talking about like guys who are focused, right? Yeah, if that's what you want, then he won't turn up.
I think also, okay, to add on to that, right? Okay, when a guy is going after you, right, he treats you different from how he treats other women. So he's definitely going over and beyond for you. So you cannot expect, to you maybe that's friendship, but to him it's not. So the moment you say no to him, right, he has to dial it back. So he has to disappear for a while. Right, that's fair, ma. So it's also fair to both parties, right? Where, you know, it gives him a chance to look somewhere else, and it allows for you the girl to explore another candidate as well, right? So it's very different. When the guy is like friendly towards you for a reason, because he, like what Shaun said lah, he wants to woo you lah.
What? Okay, when you say that as a guy, when you're chasing after the girl, you give your all, right? What is that all? You know, if I friend zone a guy, right? The reason why I friend zone a guy is because I thought I could have a friendship with the guy lah, right? Like I shared your feelings to the guy, and the guy shared his feelings back. Is that so that all where you share is the sharing of feelings, and then now I don't want to give you my feelings anymore. I give to someone else my feelings. You get what I mean? Like,
okay.
Otherwise, guys may be very like emotionally closed off unless they are chasing a girl.
Okay, a guy, right, does not talk to a girl every single day if he's not interested. Okay, because right, I don't even talk to my bros every single day. Correct?
Okay. So
for us, how we define like friends is very different, right? Like Shaun and I don't text him every single day. Hey, bro, how are you feeling today? Hey, good morning. Hey, good night. He's like, bro, what's wrong with you?
If he ever does that, right? Yeah, hey, bro, you okay or not, bro? Everything okay?
So that is how we see friendships. So when we are talking to a girl every single day, texting her, it's because we are interested. We want something more than friends. And I'm sure for women, right, you guys don't talk to any random guy every single day, right?
But we talk to our friends very frequently.
Exactly.
Also, but like, you talk to our mothers, my sisters, talk to people who we are very close to every day. So if we see a guy talk to us every day, we like, oh, this is a really good friend. Like, yeah.
No, guys don't talk to everybody every single day.
I guess
even when we meet, right, we don't even need to talk. We know what's up.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
we've got a secret messaging methods. Yeah, so to answer, it's like that. Also, a guy is not going to text you every single day and just want to be friends.
Okay.
So when he stops, after you friend zone him, when he stops, he's gonna go all the way back, like really friends. It's not that he's avoiding you, but to him,
That's how he treats friends.
That's how he treats friends.
But that's not how women treat friends, because women are very emotional beings, lah, right? We like to share our feelings with each other, ma.
Then I think that one you have to come and talk on our International Men's Day.
Oh, so I must. Okay, sorry. I listened
right
to
now,
today.
right now. Yeah. I think this is tips our bros need lah. not that you might follow, but yeah.
Okay, thanks. I think that's quite a good insight for us, right? And like never really thought of it that way, I guess, because I mean, like us women, it's very easy for us to share our feelings and emotions with our friends, and to talk frequently is just like normal. So maybe some women listening to this podcast have to take it as a hint lah. If the guy talks to you every day, he's probably interested in you as more than a friend. Let's turn it the other way also. Like, what would make you hesitate to ask a girl out?
Fear of rejection. One thing men very hard to swallow is being rejected in their face. It hurts their pride, and they just go back to that shell.
But
simple as that.
Yet you want us to do it to you, like, right? Didn't Shaun just say that we should be direct?
Yep. We have to deal with the consequences. It will eat us up. We might do stupid things, but it has to be that way. Unfortunately, it has to be that way.
It has to be that way. No, really, it has to be that way.
Yeah.
If not, the world's gonna be quite messy.
Okay.
So you will only ask a girl out if you are like quite certain they are interested in you lah.
If you think the risk is worth asking lah.
Is there like some checklist?
Risk return rewards.
Maybe that's why Shaun and Kel like it when women make the first move, so that it reduces.
They don't get rejected.
Yeah, they don't get rejected, but they have yet another, another plant, another seed to plant or something. I don't know.
I'm saying it's okay, but I would make the first move. But I mean, that being said, I think fear of rejection is one of the biggest hindrances.
Yeah, same. My answer is the same. The fear of rejection.
Okay, let's move on to some other deeper questions. See, as a woman, right? See, I have expectations lah. Say if I'm single and I meet a guy and I'm like 30 this year lah, right? And I want to get married and I want to settle down, right? But the guy that I like, and perhaps the guy likes me too, but that guy is not ready yet. So how should both parties navigate this? Should the guy just like suck it up and like, whatever lah, get married lah, or the girl be like, never mind, I'll wait a while longer lah. Meanwhile, my eggs are drying up lah. You know how?
Wow.
Hey, wait. It crosses our minds sometimes. Okay, like I have to say, it's not completely out of women's thought process. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. I think for a guy, right, if you're not ready, don't do it. I've seen like lots of marriages didn't work out. Because of that. I think at the end of the day, if you are like the kind who is still exploring, maybe don't date. Don't get into a relationship. I think that would be, you're very clear right from the start. I have friends who are right from the start. They are very clear that we don't need to get married so soon. They establish it right from the beginning.
Oh, okay.
So I think right from the start of a relationship, I think you need to know your expectations and where your goals in this relationship, where you want to see this relationship in 1 to 2 years time. And if you guys are like, okay, marriage is not there in 2 years, then very different really your direction.
You talk about men peacocking, right? Sometimes women also make promises like, it's okay, don't worry, we'll take it year by year and see how it goes, and then end up every year passes by and there are more and more friends getting married, more and more friends having kids, and the pressure starts to build then. So they may not have started the relationship with that kind of pressure, but as years go by, it happens, right? Then what should women do then? Like should we just rush the guy? Like guys, please faster a bit.
I think no, don't rush the guy. But you can always steer him into that direction.
So hang out with more married people, like
that can be a possibility. Yeah, hanging out with more like friends who are in that same stage in life.
The tip is be upfront in the beginning, as upfront as you possibly can. given that circumstances and mindsets may change even during the course of the relationship, it just avoids a lot more problems down the road if you were not upfront about it, right?
But do you think men in their 20s, they do date with no intention of getting married?
Maybe it's not a fear of commitment. It's a fear of inability to provide because they're not at that certain stage yet. I think, I don't know, a typical guy would be like thinking, okay, X amount of salary, money in the bank account, house ready, car commitments. Am I ready to sustain this am I ready to take this financial hit in my life? Not that this is a bad thing, but am I financially ready to get into this next stage in life or not?
The other thing, like, just to add on to what Kelvin said, right? I think as men, we do see ourselves as a provider, right? And one of the things that's always on my mind is like, right now it's like, okay, I want to have X amount in my bank account, I want to have this, I want to have that before I get married. A lot of people or young people these days feels that I must have X amount, I must have I must have a career, a very stable career, I must have like a house, and then only I want to get married. But what you want, by setting those expectations, it's like I will only go to this next stage when I can live a comfortable life. It's not about jumping into like building a life together, you know. If you look back at my parents' time, you know, probably your parents' time, they probably don't even own their own house. They probably don't even have like X amount in, but they still got married anyway. You know, that I feel that is what I think the society today has changed the expectations of getting married, or an expectations of what a wedding should be, right? Weddings are getting pretty out of hand. If a person wants to spend like, a person can spend like 100,000 on just the decorations, I'm like, wow. That's quite crazy, wow. Right? And yeah, of course, if you want a wedding like this, you want a marriage like this, you must have X amount. Without it, you're not going to get married. And that is not what it means, like to build a marriage together, right? Where really start from nothing, and that's where you talk about really building something together.
So that means that you're saying the reason why men may not want to settle down so fast is not because they are all out there being playboys and wanting to sow their seed in like multiple gardens. It's probably because because of the expectations that come with getting married, like having a certain job, having a certain salary, having a certain savings. Okay.
Yeah.
As much as boys will be boys, we actually do get quite serious when it comes to this kind of things. Like we actually really process like really deeply. Like at least for the guy friends I know, like I have friends who know that they are not ready to commit, so they just put off like actually proposing, and sometimes the relationship goes on for like 3-4 years, but then within a year and a half he proposed because he felt like, okay, you know what, it's time, you know. So a lot can change in like a very short span of time, but yeah, we actually do think like quite deeply, as much as boys will be boys lah.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Which brings us to the next question, right? So, if a woman tells you, I want to be a tai-tai, what's your response? What's your first thought?
Kelvin, I believe this
You should answer that.
is something you should answer. Because she was so excited to get into this question, you know.
Between me and Ellie, we've had this conversation quite a number of times already. And I think my answer to it is still the same today. Like, if I could afford it for her to do that, I would so much rather she do that. But I always look back at, you know, the person who asked that question, right? I will look back at the character of the person also. Like, is that person suited or can be tightened? Like I mean, I just use my wife as an example in this case reference. At least not the kind of person who's going to sit at home and do nothing, watch Netflix all day. She wants to be out there doing things. She just wants that freedom to be able to do things that she wants to pursue her passion. And if your partner, your wife is that kind of person, you know, for me, I would look at it as, okay, it's a challenge accepted that I want to try and get to that level so that she can pursue. Like I always joke with her. Sorry, it's not a joke. I always tell her, like, if you want to quit your stressful job and go work for an NGO who makes, and you might end up making lesser money, it's okay. You go ahead. I will just give me a bit of time. Let me get to that level to support you and do your passion. I think it's fun and fine.
Is that on behalf of all mankind? Like
no. I think this has to be a very, very honest conversation between the husband and wife. It has to be a very, very honest conversation. Because it affects, you know, things like how you plan financially, how you plan the lifestyle, how you plan expectations with one another. It involves a lot. I think boys, sorry, don't say men, boys, if you're listening to this, don't be intimidated by this question. It's really not as bad as you think it is. Have an honest conversation.
I think men, we see ourselves, like what I said just now, we see ourselves as providers, right? We want to provide for my wife, my kids, you know. So my girlfriend Ellie and I had a conversation about this, and the last 2 years has been really tough for me. My business, I closed my business, so financially, it's been difficult, and we've had this discussion about marriage, right? And I was very honest with her, saying, yeah, I'm afraid that I won't be able to provide. So that's why it's still not, it's on my mind. It's just that it's not like 2 months down the road kind of thing, you know. But she gave me a very good reply. She was like, you are never my provider. My provider is always God.
Yeah, but that's true.
Whoa.
So 2 months later lah.
Then YOLO only lah, God will provide, right?
I think for most guys, I think we're brought up in a way that we need to provide. We are the providers. Since young, right? We see our fathers, you know, we see our grandfathers, we see our uncles, or people around us do the same thing. You know, that's how we see it as well, how we should be men. You know, we model ourselves after the people who are around us, the men who are around us. I think Ellie is on a different level of faith. She just told me, yeah, God will provide. God is my provider, never you.
You talk about men being providers, but what if your wife or your girlfriend earns more money than you? How would that make you feel?
I'm going to answer 2 questions at the same time. I'm going to give some real numbers. When I proposed to Ellie, right, my salary was 3,600. That's how low I was earning at that time. And I think for the longest time in our relationship, we've been together, 8 years now, Ellie? Around there? Majority of that time, Ellie earns more than me. Don't have an issue with that.
How do you, like, is that normal for all men to feel that way, or are you the more mature one?
It's an ego and pride question. So what if she makes more money than you? Are you relying on her to buy you your breakfast, lunch, dinner every day? No, right? Is she expecting you to buy her LV bags every other month? No, right? I mean, if it is, then, you know, you either unfortunately dating someone who's high maintenance, or she's not right person for you.
But what about Andros and Shaun? What do you guys think about that?
No issues with that.
Well, the last 2 years, I was like not earning anything. For me, I find it hard. I don't think I'll be able to do it. I still feel that to a certain extent I need to be, I don't know, maybe I'm an MCP.
MCP?
Male chauvinistic.
Male chauvinistic. No, I'm just joking. No lah. For me, I think it's an ego thing. It's really an ego thing.
So then what would...
It's something that I still struggle with.
So given like non-MCO circumstances, right? Then what should the women do then? Like, should we purposely take lower paying because this happens very, very frequently, especially for women who are around 25-30, because we tend to climb a bit faster than men at this time. But then after a while, men will start doubling and tripling the salary very easily lah. But just that at this period of time in our lives, there are a lot more women out there who earn more money than guys lah. So what should the woman do then? Should we purposely slow down our careers for
No, absolutely no.
Absolutely
never.
don't.
But then they can't find men then, right?
Yeah,
like men can go after them. Like have successful friends who are like doctors or like, you know, partners of their own firm and things like that. And that, so men are just not going to go after them because of ego. Because obviously you don't talk about salary when you first date, right? Like, so how long do you think you should date before you bring that up? And if once it's brought up and you find out the girl earns more than you, will you be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna take a step back now?
At the end of the day, I think for the guys, it's really, there's no other way around it. It's just an ego issue. It's legitimately is an ego issue. If you have an ego, if you have a pride issue that you cannot take it, that your other half is earning more than you, right? Then maybe you're just not mature enough. Then simply put, you just can't take it. then don't look forward to things like marriage and kind of stuff. I think even when we were married early, the year we got married, you were still making more than me. So like it was never an issue between us up till today. We always joke about, you know, simple things like, oh, your income tax return more than mine. You can buy me lunch. Yeah, we celebrate things like that. We celebrate things like that. It's like, because it puts us together in a better financial position. So, you know, man, suck it in. If she's making more than you,
but then your buddy Andros is on the flip side, so are you telling him
He's
to just
the-
suck
he's the
it in?
MVP,
So we
dude.
should ask.
Yeah, like so. Yeah, we should be
but
asking
see, right?
Andros, right?
It is something that I'm slowly trying. I'm hoping to learn about, right? To slowly put my ego down. The last 2 years, one thing God has really showed me is humility, lah. I really have to, you know, eat the humble pie. In everything. Right now, from losing my business to now working for someone, it's very different. I think it's God's way of dealing with my ego.
Okay.
Shaun, any thoughts?
I'm all for more women working, actually. I think, like, personally, like, women sacrificing careers for men is actually very bad for the country, and for our communities. It just breeds this whole inferiority complex, or like this unspoken, like, you know, rules about, you know, incomes and stuff. But yeah, to me, like, I'm absolutely fine if my partner earns more than me. Like, you know, even better, you know, I get better gifts during Christmas. But I think that there's always a lighter side to every single thing. And I think, like, you know, as men, like, you know, we shouldn't be it shouldn't be an ego thing, lah. I think there's more to life than just your salary. As much as I want to be the provider for my family, I think it's actually okay.
perhaps we're looking at the provider word differently already. We always think it's financially. Could be different else that we could provide for if you're earning less.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like what? They have helping more in the house, being the house husband. I don't know. Like, I'm going to the extreme now.
I mean, it's not about compensating, you know, but it's just filling the gaps in the family.
Okay.
Like say the family, they need, like, you guys need more chill time just because both of you are really stressed. You know, the guy can always, like, plan for events. It's just about filling gaps, you know, like, about having the best life possible.
I think the other way, I guess, like looking at Kel and Ellie, right, that I think it worked out for you was, I think even though Kel earned less than you, but Kel was still the head of the house, right? So that was the thing that never changed. It doesn't matter whether Kel earns more than you or less than you. At the end of the day, he was still the head of the household. I think that really, really helped. Not just like financially, like he was head of like the household in sense of he was spiritually the head as well, right? Not just physical household, things like that. So I think that really, really helps. If you earn more than the guy, doesn't matter, right? Don't make him feel bad about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't make him feel bad about it, and respect him to be still the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have to be intentional about that, I guess.
So
Yeah.
women who are listening to this who earn more than their boyfriend's husband, don't make your men feel bad. They're trying their best too. Just that, I don't know, circumstances. So, but they
It
still,
goes both
you
ways
still have
also.
to respect your man as the head of the household. Okay.
So we move on to the final topic. Do you think that women tend to overthink? Like, are we over analyzing everything? Because, you know, sometimes when you fight and, like, it might be just about that one issue, right? But then the women, they can say, like, wow, if he can treat me like that in this situation, this is how he's gonna treat me like 10 years or like the rest of my life. You know, I really need to address this. So we bring it up. How do you all feel about it?
I'll say yes. It's I think guys, especially guys with engineering background. Oh, that's me and Shaun. But guys in general, we really take it on a case by case, day by day, topic by topic approach in that sense. Which is not to say a very good thing on our side, lah. Okay, we admit there's a fault in that we don't think long term or even medium term. And when there's a problem for us with, and I'm not just saying particularly for engineering background people, like guys in general, when we deal with a problem, we deal with it locally. If the TV is broken, we just look at what's connected to the TV. We try to fix the TV. We don't go through the entire electrical circuit board of the entire house and how it's connected to the kettle and potentially the internet and the humidifier that's connected to it. That's why everything's going haywire right now. We don't. We just look at TV's broken. Oh, it's the remote. Let's change the remote. End of story. That's just how we look at it objectively. I think for and it's just how the brain is wired, I guess. And I think permit me to share honestly from like how me and Ellie, when we have our fights, that Ellie would just can think back from that problem itself to like other problems that's related to it, bring it back in, and then compare to another person, and then bring back that 5 years ago story come in, and then talk about how family everything comes in like
But that's how a woman's mind works.
Exactly. And I'm not saying who's right or wrong. Yeah, it's all connected. You have a spider web there. Man is just a rope, one point A to point B. So that's why there's a big gap there when we it's not to say a bad thing, because when you overthink, right, it's good also because you analyze the situation. I mean, when you put to good use, it's good, it's damn useful. In this situation, when we fight, obviously not a very good thing. So men can find it very difficult and very overwhelming, or is it overpowering? Is that the right word? Yeah. When we
Overwhelming.
Yeah.
Overwhelming.
So then what should we women do? Should we just not bring up all the things that are, they're in our heads?
Okay. You need to, when there are problems, bring it up. It's very good.
Yes.
Like Ellie and I are we're two very different people, right? The hedgehog and the rhino, right?
Yeah.
Don't know if you guys remember. Yeah. So I am clearly the hedgehog. When I see problems, I curl and I don't want to talk about it, which is bad. It's a very, very bad thing. Whereas for Ellie, she's the rhino. She wants to settle the problem right there and then, which is good. I really appreciate her for doing such a thing, because it's not good to sweep things under the carpet. And being with her for almost a year plus, and this is what I've been learning to do, to let her speak her mind, let her speak her piece, if I would say. But sometimes she overanalyzes and she realizes. So I have to tell her, it's like, really, you don't need to overanalyze. The problem is only like this. Then she was like, oh, okay. Then I thought too much already. They say, yes, you really overanalyze the whole situation. It's only like this. That's all.
Like for men, okay, I can elaborate on that. Like if something isn't broken, don't tell me it's broken, because it's not broken.
What?
All right, like if the light bulb is not working, okay, tell me the light bulb's not working, I'll fix it. But don't tell me like, oh, how about you change the other light bulbs because they might break.
You guys have been very honest, which is really great. And we're running out of time, so we'll go to the last question now. Final thoughts from everyone. What is one thing you wish that women knew about men, or something that you wish we did more of for you?
We are very simple. We're not that complicated. We don't overthink stuff, our brain is very compartmentalized. It's like, this is for this is for that, this is for that,
I think Andros used the keyword that really, really simple. We're simpletons. We're like a plankton, pretty much, to be honest. There's many ways to describe us, but I think simpleton is probably like a good, cute way of putting it. That men have a lot of pride issues. I think women need to understand that men have a lot of pride issues. Some super thick, some super thin, but it is there. It is probably the first hurdle, first but longest hurdle. The ego issue is like when you're renovating your houses. The electrician will come in first, but he's the last to leave the job. It's the first and last issue to tackle, and I think that's the problem with men, that women need to realize what they're dealing. A lot of your problems, I'll say 90% of problems, come from the ego itself. It manifested from there. I think if you deal with the ego issue, I'm not saying don't have ego, I still do, and at least still dealing with it. You're just being upfront here. Once you deal with the ego issue, I think you uncork a lot of, you solve a lot of problems out of there, and just be upfront with us about things. Don't assume. Assuming is a very dangerous thing. Don't assume. Ask us directly. Even if we have IKEA manuals, we will still make mistakes. Don't complicate it for us.
It's a team game. Yeah, like it's a team game. It's about building a relationship together. It's not building a relationship against one another. Like at the end of the day, the only beneficiaries are the guy and the girl. And yeah, I mean, like at the end of the day, it's all about working together lah. I think it's something that both parties have to realize. But like, I mean, since we're on this platform, like hey ladies, it's a team game. It's a team game. Work together lah. It's something that I tell a lot of my guy friends as well. Like, if you're facing anything, just work together lah.
Men are simple. We women are the ones that are thinking on behalf of men, but actually we're just assuming a lot of things.
Thank you so much for spending time with us. I think we had a really good conversation today. If you like to hear more content like this, drop us a DM, tell us what you want to hear from this space or what other truthful, honest stories you like to hear from us. And find us on Instagram, and don't forget to like, subscribe and follow us on YouTube and Spotify at truthshetold.my.